Hello everyone. Phoenix61 here with your World of Warships Legends shenanigans for the day. We've definitely got some shenanigans to go through. We are in the Agincourt, if I'm saying that correctly. Right, this is a British Tier 3 only, so, yes, the thumbnail is a little misleading here, right? But this ship, I have not lost in it yet. We'll show stats at the end. I think at the end of these couple of games here, we're going to showcase. I think we had 11 wins, 0 losses by this time. I've been playing it literally once a week to do my premium supplies, and then I don't touch it because otherwise I feel like I'm going to jinx my win ratio with it here. But this thing is absolutely brutal to broadside cruisers, as you can see. If only a couple more shells would have actually hit this guy, he would have been dead, right? But we'll get some others. We'll have some other victims here. And then I haven't even built into the main battery at all. I've actually done a secondary build with this thing. And so it makes going in and pushing up into zones actually not that bad and not that dangerous. And down here at Tier 3, it's actually still a little bit more viable to do than I would say that it is at some of the later tiers where we've got all... There's our Dub Striker. But yeah, at some of the later tiers, right, we've got so much more going on. Really long-range torpedoes, all sorts of airstrikes. Carrier games are a little bit more common, especially around like Tier 7, right? So like, this thing really is, in my opinion, the ultimate brawler right now. The only downside being is you got to play it at Tier 3, right? So, but I've been having a lot of fun in it, so I'll take it. It's been my go-to ship for my... You guys know me. I like to play through the premium supplies missions every week if I can. Just kind of as something to do within the game and work my way towards, you get some commander materials and containers here and there, right? Like, so just kind of something to do. But as you can see, secondaries are engaged. I think we've got these at like 7.9 or something for range. So we tripped the secondary booster while somebody's in range here. We'll see how long. Looks like he's backing up and or slowing down. And then the Kaiser was giving us a little bit more angle. Right, you're gonna struggle a little bit with the, the caliber of these guns or whatever, right? They're not gonna hit, right? Especially, they're not gonna hit as hard against battleships, but they work so good. AP shells work so good on cruisers at this tier from this thing. It's just, it's pretty wicked, right? So I think, like, as a cruiser player, I've kind of learned the don't be broadside lessons. That was happening to me more around, like, Tier 4 and 5, so I feel like people are a little bit more less aware or like not paying as much attention down at Tier 3, and so you really catch people off guard sometimes. But yeah, let's take this shot at this New York and we'll aim like we're gonna get good hits on him, right? And we get like quite a few busted shells, right? 4 broken shells there that I don't think do any damage when that happens, right? So you probably need to aim a little bit higher on battleships than what you normally would go for. But these secondaries really do whittle away at people. And we mercy rule these guys, right? We killed enough ships quick enough that they actually lost all their points. And so that game ended up being super short. We get second place on the leaderboard there. So I got a couple more games to go through, and then I'll show stats. And I think I won 1 or 2 more since I had actually like recorded the stats on this one. So, but I think for this one we're 11 of 11. For wins. But here we go with another target-rich environment here. Several cruisers pushed up into the B-hole here. So we'll take our shots at them. Bunch of overpens on the Karlsruhe, right? So that's unfortunate. And we do have a destroyer in here. Now, I think I slowed down here, kind of thinking I would be avoiding... yeah, so I'm gonna slow down here, right? It was 1, because I could get this shot off on this cruiser here. But 2, because I kind of felt like I'd be, that destroyer off to my, the left side of the screen here out in front of me. I was kind of thinking I'd be avoiding his torpedoes, but somebody had already sent some sort of through this zone here. So props to them for good zoning torps there. But we'll damage con, right? They didn't do, it got it got a pretty good chunk of our health, but we're okay here. And you can see I am using running with scissors, which I think is giving us, we'll take a peek. I forget. It's so rare that I use running with scissors too, but it just, I intentionally put myself in these situations so often with this ship that it's definitely been the way to go. I think you're getting better reload on either main battery and or secondaries, right? Some perks all around. Then we've got a Phoenix over there, but there is ship number 1 down. This destroyer is not going to last long either. We'll use main battery on him. And then secondaries, of course, are going to go to work. And, of course, he's coming around here trying to send torpedoes. So we adjust course, but we still took 1 hit. Luckily, we get away with no flood there. And then we managed to finish him off. Couple of cruisers left over here, so I am absolutely all here for it, right? This is where we're going to rock and roll. And we are going to have to deal with the carrier. This ship has literally zero anti-air. It's not even like bad anti-air where there's like a dude on the deck shooting a handgun up in the air. There's nothing, right? So these carriers will have full rain on you. So I stop here because I can see the torp bombers coming, right? And I'm still technically moving forward here. It's such a slow, right? This is a very sluggish ship. You got to keep that in mind too. But we're going to get away with him not having a shot on us there. He dumps his torps into the smoke screen, but nobody's back there. I think he knows that. I think he just did it to get rid of the, to finish the run. So he could probably swing back around and try at me again. But yeah, we're going to go push up here and turn around the corner here to try and get at these cruisers. And then, yeah, trying to keep an eye on where those torp bombers are coming from. And then Phoenix is already in range of secondaries, and we'll see if we can finish off this Carl Shrew here with the mains. And we can, so that's kill number 3 for this game. Right, we've mopped up on our flank, right, 2 games in a row here, and done vast majority of the work ourselves here. Yeah, we're at what, 94 secondary battery hits? I mean, this thing brawls hard. Your biggest threat's going to be those destroyers, right? These torpedo boats are going to be what gets you. So secondaries are already in range of the Phoenix here. Obviously, we're going to shoot him with the mains when they get loaded here. Just trying to line up the shot. He's kiting away in an awkward position, so I want to try and aim high and hit superstructures type stuff, right? But yeah, we only get 2 hits there. And then, yep, we're getting bombed again by the carrier. But we did get the solo zone cap there. Phoenix finally turns a little bit for us here, so we could get hopefully a few more hits. See if secondaries can finish him off here or not. But yeah, this is pretty brutal for a tier 3 brawler, right? For a secondary build. There's quite a few guns. But yeah, that's kill number 4 there. I think for the rest of this game, we end up just trying to look for the last couple of ships, and we're dodging, airstrikes from the aircraft carrier. So we'll fast forward it here. We'll use our heal, right? Just trying to survive at this point. Somebody does take out the last battleship, so I am technically heading in the complete opposite direction, but so we'll get turned here and start heading back towards the, the Langley, but I think between the cruisers and battleship that are out there, right, they're going to finish him off pretty quick. There he goes. So we'll take a peek at the leaderboard for this one, and then I've got one more game to showcase here, right? Because, like, sometimes, especially at this tier, right, if you mop up on your side, a lot of times that's kind of game over sometimes at tier 3. But walking away with decent amount of credits for these games as well. So we'll jump right into the action on game 3 here. There's a Phoenix out there that is at a standstill. I'll take the shot, but he's right at our firing range. So whether we actually get some hits on him or not, yeah, we get 1 penetration there. That's fine. But yeah, several cruisers again in this game. I think we end up with at least 2 of them over here on this flank, which is, of course, good for us. But yeah, we take a pretty nasty hit from the battleship out there, right? So I kind of knew it was coming, and I was just kind of hoping that it wouldn't hurt so bad, but it sure did. So we can't make that mistake anymore, right? You get 1 of those, and if you're at higher tiers sailing broadside like that, you're going to get punished even more, right? So But yeah, so we won't make that mistake again, right? But I was just like, I was trying to go for this island, and I was like, you know what? It shouldn't hurt that bad. I want to get into position, right? I want to be able to move up a little bit, get behind a little bit of cover while the enemy team moves up, and then I can come around the corner and hopefully be in range with secondaries, right? But yeah, we took a nasty hit there, but we'll be fine. We just have to play a little more. We just have to be a little smarter for the rest of the game, right? But do get a Citadel on the, what's that, a British cruiser out there that I can't pronounce, right? And then this Texas is moving up pretty quickly as well. Phoenix as well, right? So we've got quite a few ships coming here, right? So what I'm doing is basically I'm just going to make sure I'm angled a little bit better than I was before. I'm keeping an eye on the Texas just to make sure, see if he decides to start shooting towards me or not. But yeah, we've got a fairly well-angled Phoenix here for us, so we'll take that shot. And we get, unfortunately, a bunch of over-penetrations, but Texas is going to be within range of our secondary, so once I see them starting to fire, I trip the secondary booster there. And then I'm just trying to watch my angling here, right? But we'll give him quite a bit of annoyance, and then, yeah, we get within range of running with scissors, so that's going to trigger. And as long as these secondaries are still firing, right, I was going to kind of try and maintain that position. But the Texas is kind of moving out of our line of sight. So I'm going to start moving forward a little bit. I want the secondaries to be picking on him. And then I'm keeping an eye on the cruiser here to see if we can take care of him as he comes around the corner here as well, right? So the destroyer finishes off the Texas with torpedoes, so good for him. We'll take our shot at the cruiser. And a couple of Citadel hits there is going to end him. And then Phoenix is in range of secondary. So I hit the reverse right here to slow down to try and keep him in firing range of those. While our mains reload here. And then he's moving in favor of getting where we could get all of our main batteries on target here again. Trigger to fire with the secondary. We'll shoot everything, even though it's not going to take much to finish him off. Actually, the mains didn't even hit him there. It looks like the secondary's we got the secondary kill there. Right, but now, like, we've run into this situation where we've mopped up on our flank. And so it's turns into a little bit of sailing simulator here, right? So we'll fast forward till we re-engage the enemy up ahead here. But yeah, this one was capture the base too, which... it's tough to earn XP and stuff on capture the base game variants or matches, right? So, but yeah, we'll push up and we'll head towards their base. We did get another carrier game, right? Another aircraft carrier game, and so yeah, again, there's zero anti-air, like literally nothing. So there's not even a guy that's like standing on top trying to throw a wrench at somebody, right? Like it's just nothing. So we do get a few shots off on this Nevada, but like I said, like I don't know, maybe when you're shooting battleships, maybe the way to go would be use HE for the most part, right? Like I said, like the shells just don't the main battery wrecks cruisers just so well. But yeah, I struggle a little bit against the battleships, right? So I think it's a caliber versus armor kind of situation. So you techie guys in there that know all of that stuff, feel free to comment. But yeah, we'll take a look at the leaderboard here. We do get third place on that one, earned a decent amount of credits as well. Like that's pretty good for tier 3, right? Like earning, walking away with 83,000 credits, right? So this is a secondary battery build through and through, so we're using the secondary battery mod. You only get one mod slot because it's tier 3, right? We're gonna take a peek at the stats, right? 11 games played with all all 11 wins, right? I'm gonna wreck it someday, and when I ruin it, I'll put a video on it. But I think we've got a couple more wins under our belt here too. But yeah, I'm just using this is Charles Madden. He's kind of my go-to, and actually this is the wrong preset here. So when I got rid of the yeah, we'll make sure we're using I was like, what the heck's going on here, right? Yeah, so when you deactivate the commander Geist, right, it switched me to preset 1. But right, Franz von Hipper is your must for an inspiration for secondary batteries, and then you use kind of whoever else you got. And then I'm using Porcupine And then obviously, and then I like Properly Meticulous, right, for my secondary builds. Fight Fire with Fire is always good, but I'm using Running with Scissors, right? Oh yeah, you get better AP shell damage when you're within range when that perk's triggered. So yeah, it's pretty brutal. But yeah, that's going to be our video for the day. Thanks guys for hanging out with me. This ship's been just tons of fun, right? I'm playing it once a week for my tier 3 win for premium supplies, so I know I'll get the seal clubbing comments down in the comments, but it's just been it's a good one, right? So, but yeah, please do consider subscribing. My icon will show up down in the bottom right, so come and check out my channel and subscribe. I try to do Legends videos every day, so feel free to peruse. And as always, thank you. Special thanks to those who are channel members. I try to remember to put your guys' names up here when I can. I know I don't always do it, but special thanks to you guys. If you're interested in that, check out the member section on my page. But yeah, Legends videos every day, so we'll see you guys again tomorrow.